Well, hello and welcome to my work in progress on the 29th of April 2020. We're slap bang in the middle of the old lockdown, and today I received the print proof for Finlay Macbeth. This is the book that I keep banging on about, that everybody should have had about a month ago, but because of the lockdown and the pandemic, my printer has had to work under restricted circumstances. But there you go, I've got the print proof. All the pages are actually loose in the print proof, but then they will all be bound together, and eventually all of those lovely people who have sponsored me on Kickstarter will get their copy of Finlay Macbeth. And doesn't it look amazing? Trust me, it looks amazing. Now, I've been getting some wonderful feedback. I asked a question about the new book, Prince of Denmark Street. I said, which front cover would you prefer? Would you like the monochrome front cover, or would you like the colour front cover? And I got feedback from Facebook, from Twitter, from the Sharing Shakespeare group, and from the I Love Shakespeare group. And I shall tell you what they all said at the end of this tiny little blog. It's only going to be a tiny little blog because, as I've discovered, any time spent doing blogs to camera is time spent not on my desk. And I've been doing very well on my desk. Yesterday I got 4 pages drawn, including Get Thee to a Nunnery and this musical sequence here. And the day before I got To Be or Not to Be drawn, which I'm not going to show you yet because I'm very pleased with that bit. That's the trouble. I want to share everything, but of course I want you to read the book in the order in which it's written, because it's got not only Shakespeare's story but my variation on the story, which has twists and turns and different ways of doing things. Similarly with Finlay Macbeth, I've shared an awful lot of it, but there's still things you don't know, like the ending. You don't know how they do certain particular speeches. I've done stuff. I got my first review. Today, the 29th of April, was also the day that our very first review came. Jill Ward, who's the librarian at Fortismere School in North London, which is the school that the Kinks and I believe Rod Stewart all went to in Primrose Hill. She has got her Amazon copy of Finlay Macbeth. If you go to Amazon, you can have your copy instantly. It's only those people who paid hundreds of pounds to support the book who haven't got their copies of the book yet. Anyway, she wrote this very nice thing about the book. Thank you, Jill, thank you. She called it clever. My book has been called clever. That may be the last time that happens, so I'm really going to relish it. We also got into a discussion, well, not a debate or anything, on Sharing Shakespeare. Heather Owen said, I mentioned the 12 Bar Club. She asked if the 12 Bar Club was going to be featured in Prince of Denmark Street. And it's not as such, because the 12 Bar Club wasn't open in 1977, which is when the book is set. She said that inside it was basically an old stables, and you could see where the stalls and the manger had been, which is fantastic. Also asked, have I read the Cormorant Strike novels, because his office is above the 12 Bar Club. Well, I haven't included the 12 Bar Club, but I have included many landmarks of Denmark Street. This is La Gioconda Cafe, which was open, I think it might have opened in the 1950s, could have even opened in the 1940s. It was certainly open through the 1970s, so my characters get to meet in La Gioconda. I've tried to find out whether they did like entire fried breakfasts. I'm pretty sure they did. Anyway, here you can see Rosencrantz and Guildenstern having a fried breakfast in La Gioconda, and if they didn't, tough. And I've also mapped out all of Denmark Street. Here is my floor plan of Denmark Street, taken from Google Earth and then flattened out myself in Photoshop. So this is basically what I work from. I found out where the Sex Pistols flat was, upstairs above number 6, I think, so it's pinned on the wall over there, and my characters have a flat somewhere else. I've also given King Claudius, who's called Claude Rich in my book, I've given him a flat, which I assume is a flat in real life, but I haven't been able to work that out. See, this is the thing. This has all happened during lockdown, so there's no way of me actually driving to Denmark Street and looking up and sussing these things out. I won't, I think, be able to get to Denmark Street itself until I have completely finished drawing the book Prince of Denmark Street. Anyway, there's various landmarks. The guitar shops I've changed the names of to protect the innocent, and certain venues will get featured, and you'll see those as they go along. I will be continuing to share these videos on Facebook and Twitter and YouTube, and post in Sharing Shakespeare at I Love Shakespeare. And if you want to direct me towards any other Shakespeare loving groups on Facebook, or hashtags on Twitter, then please do. I would love to talk Shakespeare with anybody. Anyway, you want to know which front cover we chose. Did we want the monochrome cover? Did we want the colour cover? On Twitter, it was 50-50 for monochrome and colour. On the I Love Shakespeare group, it was 10 fancied the colour, 3 fancied the monochrome. On Sharing Shakespeare, 6 for colour and 4 for monochrome. Across the board on the rest of Facebook, we had 3 people who wanted the monochrome cover, 24 people preferred the colour cover. I think inevitably it's going to be a colour cover for the book. The monochrome cover will appear inside, inevitably, as will the linework cover, and of course the contents of the book are entirely in black and white. My name's Kev F. Sutherland. You'll find me at Kev F. Comic Artist on Facebook and Twitter, and I will continue sharing my work in progress as long as it doesn't hold up my progress too much. Thank you.